Come with me as we watch a white girl impressing older white folks with her questionable hip-hop moves. A woman decides to sit next to Sara on the train and notices her ballet book. The woman says she loves ballet but can't do it because she got the body of Respucia. Sara is on her way to see her father, but she can't help but remember the life she left behind. Her mother was everything, and she had always supported Sara's ambitions. However, work got in the way, and Sara's mother might not be able to arrive on time. Sara insisted she needed her there and made her promise to watch. So her mother promised she'd be there for her audition for Juilliard. It was already Sara's turn, but her mother was still on her way. Later, after the performance, Sara found out that her mother got Final Destination and died while rushing to get to Sara's auditions. At present, Sara's father picks her up and brings her home, apologizing that he left so early after the funeral. To Sara's surprise, she got to live in the most fugly-ass apartment. She doesn't complain but misses her life with her mother. Roy drives her on her first day of school, and Sara quickly realizes it's a predominantly black neighborhood. There is a thorough security inspection before anyone can get in, and she scans the hallways to take in the new environment. During English class, she gets into a heated debate with Derek, and she immediately starts to despise him. When she's putting her things in her locker, a young Olivia Pope picks her bag to teach her a lesson, saying she'll lose her things in no time if she's not careful. Sara likes the girl right away and learns that her name is Chenille. When Sara sees people dancing in the hallways, it's almost as if she's witnessing hip-hop for the first time as she asks Chenille what they're doing. Chenille doesn't mind that Sara is already annoyed at her brother and even finds it funny. Sara is no longer alone since Chenille always spends time with her and even introduces her to her friends. Meanwhile, Derek welcomes his best friend, Malachi, back after some time in juvie. Malachi is pissed because he doesn't want to be in school, but the judge made him pick between 1 year in juvie and 1 year in school. Derek tries to convince him that 1 year in school is much better than his other option. I don't know, y'all. School feels like prison sometimes. Roy tries to feed his daughter some Hungry Man microwavable stuff, but Sara too bougie for that. Sometimes those meals would be slapping when you home alone and got nothing else. During gym class, Chenille discovers that Sara is good at balancing and that she used to dance before. First of all, what inner city school got the budget for a balance beam? She tells her to come and join them at the Steps Club and that they will get a fake ID for her to help her get in. Sara drops by Chenille's house to pick her up and gets introduced to her son, Christopher, and her grandmother. Chenille hands her a fake ID which looks like a white woman with 3 chins. Just before they get into the club, Olivia Pope says she'll handle it, referring to Sara's fugly outfit so Sara can fit in. Everyone inside the club is dancing to hip-hop, and Sara is easily overwhelmed. Chenille introduces her to the others, and a girl named Nikki quickly shows how much she doesn't like Sara. Chenille butts in to defend her, saying she can't stand Nikki because she played Derek before. When Nikki sees Derek, she tries to get him to dance with her, but Derek doesn't want to get in all her drama again. Chenille can't stay with Sara longer because her son's absent father, Kenny, shows up and takes her to the dance floor. Hell nah, I wouldn't be dancing with no deadbeat. Derek approaches Sara and asks her to dance with him. Even though she's trying her best, Sara moves her body with the smoothness of mayonnaise and even accidentally headbutts Derek. Meanwhile, Malachi sees some of his enemies dealing inside the club, so he confronts them and beats them up. Derek worries about his friend, so he jumps in to save him. Just before the police arrive, they get out and go their separate ways. Chenille worries about Sara going alone, so Derek offers to walk her home, saying he'd be happy to teach her how to dance. Over the next few days, Derek spends his time teaching hip-hop to Sara and even showing her his moves and how to be cool on stage. I just know by watching this that Sara's favorite seasonings is mayonnaise. Sara diligently follows Derek's instructions and laughs every time he makes a joke. Derek tells her he wants to be a doctor because he loves kids. Sara rudely asks if he has any, but he says, "Ain't nobody got time for that." Derek finds out that Sara used to be a ballet dancer, but quit, and Derek doesn't understand why she would. Later that night, Sara phones her white-ass friend Lindsay from her old school. Lindsay wonders if she got shot yet and calls her area ghetto. She even wonders how Sara will even meet anyone in a predominantly black school. Lindsay, hear me out as I say this nicely. Fuck you. One time at school, Sara sees Malachi threatening a female student and even hitting her. Sara intervenes and tells Malachi not to do it. She gets scared afterward and tries to leave, but he stops her and warns her not to tell anyone what she saw. One night, Sara asks Derek why he spends time with Malachi when they are so different from each other. Derek admits that he used to get in a lot of trouble when he was younger, and even stole a few things before. One time, he and Malachi stole from a store, and the police were about to catch him when Malachi broke some car windows to get the authorities' attention to him. Malachi didn't give up Derek's name no matter what they offered him in return, so Derek managed to get away. Here's a few clips of Sara learning how to dance so that when you see the final result, you won't be shocked at how good she is. LOL. Sara gets nosy AF and asks Chanel where her mom at. Chanel says that their mother was in jail for drugs and she left them when she got out. She says that Derek used to hope their mother would come back. Suddenly, they hear Derek and their grandmother in the kitchen. Derek has received his acceptance letter from Georgetown, and his family is very proud of him. Even though Derek is the one with something to celebrate, he decides to surprise Sara. On the train, however, Sara notices that a white, wrinkly bitch is silently watching them. She decides to play a prank on the woman and asks Derek to join her. They start making out on the train even though people are watching, and they laugh so hard when the woman decides to move to a different seat. Derek takes Sara to a ballet show that night to make her happy, but Sara doesn't feel too good even though she liked the performance. Derek asks why Sara doesn't want to dance anymore, and Sara finally admits the truth. She blames herself for her mother's death because she thinks her dancing is the root cause of her mother's demise. So Derek explains that her mother wouldn't want her to think like that. He insists that Sara shouldn't blame herself. He takes her home after the show, and they kiss for the first time. Sara takes out her ballet shoes again and thinks about her dream. She starts dancing again and even calls Juilliard for an audition. She badly wants to get in, so she always practices during her free time. The two continue to meet so Sara can get better at dancing hip-hop. When she's finally ready, Derek takes her back to the Steps Club to show off her dancing. She's so much better than when she first got there, and everyone turns their head to watch the two on the dance floor. Sara even starts turning black with half her braids. Nikki is annoyed that Sara is all over her ex-boyfriend, so she gets on the dance floor herself to distract them. When Derek sees Nikki dancing, he forgets about Sara and pours his full attention on Nikki, his hands all over her body. Sara feels out of place, so she walks away and watches them from afar. Malachi approaches and taunts her, saying that Nikki looks so much better with Derek than with her because Sara is milk. When Derek realizes his girlfriend is gone, he looks for her and apologizes for what he did. He insists that it was just a dance and that he would never do anything to hurt Sara. I don't know, y'all. They was grinding. When he takes her home that night, Sara shares that her father won't be home for the rest of the evening. So Derek takes the hint and shows her how he really moves. One night, Malachi asks Derek to join him in retaliating against his enemies. He even shows his gun to prove that he's ready if things get out of control. But Derek refuses to join him, saying that it could get them in trouble or, worse, dead. Malachi thinks that Derek became weak after being in a relationship with Sara and that he doesn't even spend time with his boys anymore. Later, Sara has a hard time playing basketball in gym class. It doesn't help that she and Nikki are both playing for the same team. When she blocks the ball, it accidentally hits Nikki, pissing her off, and soon they are both pulling on each other's hair and hitting each other. The teacher has to get in the middle of the two just to make them stop. Meanwhile, the boys are playing basketball outside when Malachi's enemies drive around the basketball court and start shooting them. Luckily, everyone has really bad aim as no one gets hurt. Malachi pulls out his gun to shoot them back. Nikki confronts Sara, telling her that it's not yet over between them. Sara plays it cool, saying that she and Derek have feelings for each other, and that's all that matters. But Nikki hates that a white girl's getting one of their men, and that's something she can't get over. At the Steps Club, Malachi is still convincing Derek to join him. He gets into an argument with Sara when she asks if Derek is ready to take her home. Derek steps in and defends his girl, but Malachi calls Sara a trailer trash, so Derek snaps and punches him. Later, Derek walks in on his sister and Kenny arguing. It's Kenny's turn to look after Christopher, but they haven't yet left, and he's already lost his temper. So Chanel changes her mind and decides not to let Kenny take the boy. She is not going to let Kenny take their son when he's already pissed. So Kenny walks out the door, leaving them behind. Sara accompanies Chanel to the hospital because she doesn't have anyone else to go with her. Christopher is sick, and Chanel is already agitated that they have been waiting for an hour, and yet they haven't been called. Chanel asks Sara how she explained her bruised face to her father. Sara admits she mentioned Nikki since she was the one who started it. But Chanel takes Nikki's side, saying she understands why Nikki feels the way she does. Sara gets confused because she thinks Chanel would side with her. So Chanel spells it out to Sara to make her understand. Derek will make something of himself because he is a smart and good-hearted boy. Then Sara, a white girl, shows up, thinking she's right, and takes one of their few decent men left. Sara is shocked because she thought Chanel and her were friends. However, Chanel says in order to be a friend, Sara needs to open her eyes at the world around her, the systematic racism and shitty system Black people have to live in. The conversation stays with Sara even during her dance training with Derek, and she admits that everyone around them judges their relationship. So Derek gets mad, complaining that he hit his best friend to defend his girl, and Sara still has something to complain about. He walks away from her, and Sara is left alone to deal with her thoughts. After their breakup, Derek apologizes to Malachi and promises to show up and help him. Roy surprises his daughter and shows her a newly renovated room. Sara appreciates the gesture, but it's not enough to make her happy again. She explains to her father that she doesn't hate him and only misses her mother so much. It's almost time for auditions, and she is also frustrated that Derek won't be there to support her. She needs someone who loves her to be there for her in that important moment. So Roy tells her not to worry because he loves her and will be there that day. Derek spends time with his sister and nephew, but somehow remains distracted. Chenille notices it and finally reveals the conversation she had with Sara. Chenille admits she was just salty because her baby daddy a deadbeat, while Sara gets to have her brother, who would never be a deadbeat. Derek realizes why Sara suddenly acted so cold towards him, so he gets mad at his sister. Chenille knows he's about to meet Malachi that night, so she tries to stop him. But Derek doesn't want to listen to her anymore after what she did, so he still leaves to meet him. He finds Malachi and the others waiting for him. He doesn't waste any time and admits he's not going with them. Malachi gets angry and says he doesn't need Derek anymore. He insists that it's the only kind of life he knows how to live, and he is nothing like Derek. Derek tries his best to save his best buddy, trying to convince him that he's smart enough to turn his life around. But Malachi has already set his mind on his own goal. Malachi continues their plan, and it ends up with them getting shot and their car bursting into flames. They are also caught by the police while the others are taken to the hospital. When it's Sara's turn to audition, she gets nervous but nails their ballet performance. However, she trips during the second one, where she's about to show a contemporary dance. The judges start to doubt if she can continue, and Sara also starts to worry about whether she can. Derek arrives just in time. Despite the judges asking him to leave, he gets on the stage and gives Sara a pep talk about how she will do well in her performance. Gaining enough courage, Sara gives her best and shows the fruit of all her dance training with Derek. Y'all, the way I thought she ate the hip-hop portion up when I was a child. When it's over, Derek and all the judges are pleased with what they've seen. One of the judges says he's not yet allowed to say it on record, but welcomes Sara to Juilliard. Of course, them whiteys be impressed with that. Derek hugs his girlfriend so tight to celebrate her victory, and Sara is overjoyed that she got into her dream school. After a few days, Derek takes Sara back to the Steps Club to celebrate with their other friends. Chenille is also there, and she congratulates Sara, telling her she can always come back to her when she needs help. Then Sara and the others dance the night away like there's no tomorrow. What did you guys think of Julia Stiles' journey from mayonnaise seasoning to the whole pantry?
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel.